Hey there, it's Trucker Wayne with Driver Solutions. 25 years and they have helped 25,000 individuals get their CDL. You could be one of them. Check them out at greatcdltraining.com. So I had a great question on the fifth wheel along when I was talking about distributing weight on the flatbed. We all know that every truck, whether it's dry van, whatever you do, intermodal, or a flatbed, you can move the fifth wheel. What I have found is that very rarely, and I have had to do it, very rarely have I had to move a fifth wheel when I was dry van. In fact, the first time I had to move my fifth wheel was when I was flatbedding. So with that being said, the fifth wheel is extremely important when you are flatbedding, because if you go back to my previous video, I talked a lot about the distribution of weight from the back to the drives to the steer, right? And so many times if you have the fixed axles like I did and I didn't have spread, the only way I could distribute any of the weight of moving them is with the fifth wheel. But you need to be careful with that fifth wheel too, because you can only go to 12,500 on your steers, right? So with that being said, there are times if you have especially the trucks that go across country, I had one that was a 300-gallon tank and one was a 200-gallon tank. That all factors in when you move your fifth wheel, but a lot of times you have to move that fifth wheel to get legal. So it's interesting. The first time I did it, I wasn't sure. I had to call the office. They walked me through it, setting the landing gear down, right? You have to drop them airbags. You have to leave the the brake. I had to think about that one. You have to release the truck brake, keep the trailer brake on there, and it has a little switch down there, a little lever you have to push up, and when you hit it, the fifth wheel claws should move in. There are different ones, and then you're able to go back or forth. What I have found, it varies from 250 to 215 pounds per notch. I found that 225 is probably what I always go by. So that seems to be a good average, 225 pounds. I know the truck itself, it does tell you exactly how much, but I have actually found that it varied even from what it says in the owner's manual on the truck. So I always go with 225. So if I had to move 500 pounds from let's say your drives to your steer, and you do it that way, I'd move it 2 notches for 500 pounds. It's just something, and it's tough too, because that fifth wheel is pretty small. So you may be trying to go 2 notches, right? And then you go 3, and then you gotta go back and forth until you get it on the notch. So that's something too. When you move your fifth wheel, it's good thing if you have some chalk, just to chalk where you want it to go, so because when you move that fifth wheel, you've already weighed. So okay, I gotta move 500 pounds, and it doesn't do you any good if you're not sure where you're at. And then, especially if you don't want to weigh again. If you're good, and let's say you're 425 pounds over, you want to move it, if you go 2 notches, you're good. You don't have to weigh again. You can haul. That's what I used to do. I can only say for me, but I would know, okay, if I'm going to move it I'll at least get it to the 400 that I need, then I could leave, right? But if you're not exactly sure where it was set and where you need to go with some white chalk, so I always made sure I did that. So there's another excellent question, getting to the technical stuff, which I love in trucking. Made it from Alaska down here to Oregon, heading back up to Alaska. So it's been fun, been a lot of fun. So this is Trucker Wayne with Driver Solutions, with the positive path to trucking success. That's on Facebook, private group. Check my Facebook page out at Trucker Wayne, and I'm out.